Hello and welcome to Today at the Games. My name is Edward Russell and you are watching MediaCorp's coverage of the 32nd SEA Games in Cambodia. We are live from the city of Phnom Penh and over the next 30 minutes we'll be taking you through Team SG action on day 2 of competition. Now, yesterday marked the 1,000th gold medal for Singapore in the SEA Games since 1959, and today Team SG added more to that lustrous pile. We'll have updates on sailing, jiu-jitsu and esports coming up, but we start with Pencak Silat, where the women's regu impressed the judges enough to secure gold.
Day 2 of the Pencak Silat competition saw Team Singapore feature in 3 events. In the women's artistic regu semi-final, Singapore was represented by the trio of Amira Binti Shaurin, Ifa Batrisha and Noor Ashikin. They overcame the challenge of Cambodia with a score of 9.965 to 9.880 to advance to the final. In the final, Singapore came up against Brunei, who took to the floor first. They scored 9.925. With gold within their sights, the Singaporean trio, who won a bronze medal in this event last year at the Hanoi Games, put in a splendid display to score 9.955 and clinch Silat's first gold medal at these games.
It was a very tough start because we started from quarters and the balloting was not ideal, but I think that we tried really hard and we put in a lot of effort for training. We went for in-camp and all that, so it's really nice to know that our efforts have paid off. Really have to give a lot of credits to the federation, to our coaches, our parents, all the supporters we have. We really cannot be here without them.
Last year we won third, so from third to first is really surprising because it's a big jump for us, and especially it's our second attempt, so it is a really meaningful SEA Games for us.
So basically we've actually competed with them before, so during the World Champs, so we kind of know what to expect, but definitely everybody train harder, put in more effort, because basically this is SEA Games, so it's much more bigger. So we knew what was coming up, so we put in more effort, try to improve our skills, performance, stamina and everything. So I believe that we all put in each and our efforts, and alhamdulillah we are right now the first goal SEA Games, our second SEA Games, first goal.
In the women's individual Tunggal semi-final, Siti Nazura came up against Indonesia's Puspa Aramsari. In this event, participants are judged on their accuracy and firmness of their movements. Despite a gallant effort, Nazura came up short against the Indonesian, losing by a score of 9.975 to 9.91. That gave Nazura the joint bronze. Indonesia and Thailand took gold and silver respectively.
For today's performance, I feel like it was so much better than yesterday, but honestly I felt a little bit tired, but I think it's more of the atmosphere, or the mattress is so light and bouncy, so it made me feel a little bit more tired. So maybe I should work on my stamina again. Other than that, I think more on my skills to make it more sharp, because also because I was rushing at the end. So maybe if I work on my skills more, then I wouldn't rush so much, and then everything will come into place.
In the men's Tunggal semi-final, the defending champion from Singapore, Muhammad Iqbal, came up against home ground favourite Soem Sokdavid of Cambodia. Iqbal, who performed first, could only manage a score of 9.935. Sokdavid, in an eye-catching red outfit, then took to the floor with an almost perfect routine to score 9.955 and advance to the final. Iqbal had to settle for a joint bronze with Cambodia and Malaysia, taking gold and silver respectively.
I mean, it is what it is. I gave my all, and I'm quite happy with my performance. But sadly, it's not enough for the jury to give me for the win. So, yeah, but I'm still grateful for the bronze, and I'm still feeling confident that I could have won it. But things might not go my way today. Yeah, I have to discuss again with my coach, and yeah, we have to look back at the videos and analyze what went wrong, what was not enough.
In the waters off Sihanoukville, Team SG sailors have been in action even before the opening ceremony. The final medal races take place tomorrow, and the team is in the hunt for at least 4 golds. Leading the pack of debutants is veteran Ryan Lowe in the Ilka 7 event. With 8 first-place finishes in 9 races, he will get gold if he finishes no lower than 5th tomorrow. In the men's Ilka 4, Isaac Goh is in first place, leading over his Thai rival. If he finishes no lower than fourth, he will be standing atop the podium. Janya Ang is in second place in the women's Ilka 6, hot on the heels of her Thai rival. Whoever crosses the finish line first will get the coveted prize. Sitting second in the mixed 29er Open, Ellen Tan and Chatek Pin will need to finish 2 places ahead of Malaysia and 1 place ahead of Thailand to get gold. In the mixed optimist category, Singapore's pair of Cheryl Heng and Ethan Han combined their results to sit in silver medal place. In men's windsurfing RSX, Jason Tan looks set for a silver medal.
And in the IQ foil category, Elkan O is in contention for a bronze. And in the men's windsurfing RS1, David Tiong sits in 4th place. We will bring you the updates tomorrow, but in the meantime, please send Team Singapore all your good thoughts as they go into the medal races. In the meantime, it's time for a quick break. We'll be back shortly with Jiu-Jitsu and esports. Welcome back to Today at the Games, live from Phnom Penh, part of MediaCorp's coverage of the 32nd SEA Games. Now, coming up next, the final day of Jiu-Jitsu. And Tae Mei-yong wasn't able to make any headway in the women's Nawaza 52-kilogram category. Meanwhile, though, Noah Lim, winner of Singapore's first gold medal at these games, and Tung Yong-sieng picked up medals for Singapore.
Team Singapore added 2 medals on the last day of the Jiu-Jitsu competition, with Tung Yong-sieng claiming a silver in the men's Jiu-Jitsu Nogi under 62-kilogram class. The 33-year-old started his medal bid against the strongest fighter of the 5-man field, Vietnam's Son Da Hong, the gold medalist at the last edition in Hanoi. Yong-sieng, who also won a silver last year, adopted a more defensive approach to start the fight and was almost entirely on the floor to counter his Thai opponent's attack. But when the 5-minute bout was over and the fight went to sudden death extension, Tung became more proactive. The intense battle between the pair ended after the 2.5-minute extension when Son gained advantage over Tung. Tung then regrouped to claim his first win over Thailand's Komkrit Kjednin, submitting his opponent within 2 minutes. And with his Lao opponent injured before the start of the fight and not able to compete, a win against the Philippines' Jean Vincent Cortez would put Tung in a good position in the overall standings. Tung did manage to pull out a win over Cortez in a close fight and finished joint first out of 5. But in the end, he had to settle for a silver based on the head-to-head record with Vietnam's Son Da Hong.
So basically, Vietnam and we were both tied with the same amount of wins and submissions. So it went down to basically further down the rule book. So he beat me in the first match, so therefore they gave him the gold. Definitely a little bit disappointed, but it's over, so on to the next one. I came here wanting to win gold. I know I can win gold, but yeah, well, it is what it is, and at least I know, I'm at the level where I can beat.
Noah Lim, meanwhile, bagged a bronze in the men's Jiu-Jitsu Nogi under 69-kilogram class after winning Team Singapore's first gold at the Cambodia Games yesterday. The 20-year-old had a dominant start against Thailand's Kunapong Hasdi in the first round. He took charge from the start with a couple of leg locks and submitted his Thai opponent, claiming a spot in the semi-finals. He took a 2-point lead midway through the 5-minute fight, but committed a couple of mistakes in the last minute to allow his opponent to come back. Noah lost 2-9 and had to settle for a joint bronze medal.
I was quite sad after losing in the semi-finals because I was actually winning the match and then I made a mistake because I think it's quite psychological because I I actually thought my opponent was quite tired, so I just like jumped in, then he managed to score 2 points, and after that like it sort of like went downhill from there. So, but I'm very happy that I'm putting myself out there because I don't really. This is my third no-gi competition and my first time competing no-gi in the SEA Games. So there's quite a big difference between gi and no-gi, and there's a lot of skill sets that I know I have to develop. And so, moving forward from this competition, there are a lot of areas for improvement and a lot of things to train, and that's very exciting to me because I want to keep improving and hopefully come back stronger in the next SEA Games for no-gi. Yeah.
Singapore claimed 1 gold, 1 silver and 1 bronze in the Jiu-Jitsu event, equaling their medal tally in the last edition in Hanoi. The team will now put their focus on the Asian Games this summer. Day 2 at the Games brings us back to the Olympia Mall for the Mixed Teams League of Legends Wild Rift event. Team Singapore faced off against Cambodia in the lower brackets. Having suffered a heavy defeat in their first match against the Philippines, the Singaporean team was determined to bounce back and secure a win for the chance to play against Vietnam for a place in the final. Both teams started off strong in the first few minutes of the game with aggressive plays and strategic moves. Singapore dominated the early game in the first round, but Cambodia fought back to win the second. However, Singapore's superior team coordination and objective control in the third and fourth round proved too much for Cambodia to handle, with Singapore ultimately securing a well-deserved victory to move into medal position. Singapore next face Vietnam. A win would give Team SG entry into the final to face the Philippines.
We thought that today's game will be quite a tough match. During the first game, it was pretty easy, I would say. But after that, we dropped a game during game 2. It was quite unexpected lah. So we adjusted our mentality, and after that our game plan, then we discussed quite a bit. Because we didn't play much as a team for the past maybe 3 weeks. Yeah, so we are trying our best to get top 2 in these SEA Games.
On to face the formidable Vietnamese team, and the Singapore team gave it their best shot. They were finally undone though by Vietnam's team, which had superior coordination and control. In the best of 5, they lost 3-0. No chance at the final then, but the team were able to secure a bronze for Singapore.
Yes, congratulations to the Wild Rift team on their bronze. They really put on a great show during the tournament. And meanwhile, the Valorant team will start their campaign tomorrow. All right, it's time for a break, and it's Fast and Furious at the Moradok Aquatic Centre when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to MediaCorp's coverage of the 32nd SEA Games, coming to you live from Cambodia. Now it's time to cross over to the Moradok Aquatic Centre now, and it seems to be a great venue in particular for Jonathan Tan, who sped to his 2nd individual gold.
The pocket rocket, that's John Tan, versus the dynamo, that is Chong Sun-wei, who has gotten off to a really good start in lane number 5. But Johnny comes right back right now with that upper body strength of his, the human propeller at work right now. Look at those stroke rates, look at the stroke cycle, almost stroke to stroke with Chong Sun-wei, and Johnny has just pushed himself ahead, half a body length ahead of the rest of the field, including Chong Sun-wei at the moment. This will be another quick time by Johnny, 21.95 seconds, not as fast as what he clocked in the heat, but yet again sub 22 for John Tan. And Singapore have won this event for the 5th time in a row. Before that, in the previous 10, they had only won once. Brian Tay was our only winner in 10 SEA Games, and now we've won 5 in a row.
I mean, to me, I think every race for me is just a race against myself. I try not to think about anybody beside me and just give it my all. And a PB is always what I'm aiming for. These 2 years is, I mean, missing the Olympics was a tough one for me to swallow, and I think I just had to put my head down. I had my coaches to help me, I had my friends, my family, all supporting me through. And yeah, I hope I made them proud. Yeah.
2 Singapore ladies went below 2:05 in qualifying. The rest of the field. So off they go. 4 times up and down the pool. Just beside her in lane number 3. Ching Hui was the 6th Singaporean to win at the last games and the first since 2009. And she loves to turn it on in the final 100 meters, so look for the Thai to come on strong. But the good news is that she's turning to her right, so she can see exactly what Kamonchana can do. And at the last age group championships, especially at the Thai age group championships earlier this year, and clocking 201.94, this is where she certainly turned on the afterburners. Kamonchana Kwanwang. What a comeback this is for Kamonchana Kwanwang. Han Ching-wei has got to hang on here, and she does, just ahead of Kamonchana, 201.76. Chan Zi once again defends that bronze medal that she won at the last games. Not her personal best time, 201.76, but still the only one to dip below 202.
I mean, I just came in today's race, like, just wanting to get my hand on the wall first. Like, I knew it was going to be a tough race because tonight's field was quite stacked. And there was a little bit of pressure coming in, obviously. But I just told myself to stay calm and like focus on my race plan and just swim my own race.
Surely, Roanne, we're not going to see any cat and mouse games from Jingwen now in these finals. And very much, Roanne, being a breaststroker, you know that as long as you're strong in that breaststroke leg, you always stand a chance in this race. Kamonchana, as I said, doesn't have a weakness in all these disciplines at all. Will try to measure herself well enough. Azara Amatahani, and this is where she is usually strongest in that backstroke leg. Good catch up from Letitia. Kamonchana has given herself quite a lot to do in the final 100 meters of this race. Jingwen hanging on. Letitia so smooth and so much in rhythm with that breaststroke. Needing a freestyle swim of the ages to catch Letitia Sim. Can she do it? Or has she left herself a little too late? Has left it a little too late and too much ground to make up. Letitia Sim will win gold for Singapore. Kamonchana silver for Thailand. Hua Tingwen third.
Yes, and I think Letitia just broke the national record that was set by Hua Tingwen.
I was just really nervous on the backstroke going in because I knew Jing was going to kind of take off, but I knew if I stayed with her, I'd be able to hold a really good ground on the breaststroke because I know that's one of my strengths. So I try to use that to my advantage and then kind of just close my eyes for the freestyle and hope for the best.
Letitia Sim is the new queen of the medley. Look at that lineup of Jonathan Tan, Glenn Lim, Adi Azman and Darren Chua. It's very much the changing of the guard, isn't it? I mean, don't blame the crowd as well. They're all for lane number 2, Cambodia. And Thailand are in lane number 3. 4, Singapore, of course, with Johnny Tan, 148.70, his personal best set in 2019. Indonesia are in lane number 6, led up by Nicholas Baggio. John's going to hand it over to Glenn Lim. Ho Yan's going to hand it over to Yin Chen, who's got a time of 149.91 seconds, his personal best. A fantastic first leg swim then for Malaysia and Q Ho Yan. Singapore turning in second spot.
He was also the team anchor back in 2019 where Singapore won the gold in this event. So hopefully he can repeat that performance for us.
Singapore just ever so slightly ahead to give it to Adi Azman for the third leg right now. It is Singapore who will turn first. Adi Azman takes a plunge into the pool, swimming tomorrow in the 400 meters individual medley, but for now he might have to help the team. So Singapore now might just win it, and it'll be a bunch of brand new swimmers who'll be doing it for them. I'm sure the Malaysians leading up to this would have fancied themselves, but all of a sudden Singapore are right back, right there. The Malaysians looked at the lineup and didn't see the likes of Hua Tingwen and Joseph Schooling. They might thought this might be our chance. Just slightly ahead now is Arvind Singh, just slightly ahead of Singapore's Adi Azman. Will hand it over to Darren Chua. Might be a little rusty, hasn't had a lot of competitive swimming over the last couple of years. Kai Sin jumps into the pool for Malaysia. You can see that it didn't really attack the wall that time, left a little bit while he broke out, but still enough of a lead over Kai Sin. Darren has got to hang on right till the very end. The good news is that he's breathing to the right, and when he turns, you'll know that there is a charge coming on from the outside smoke. That is Vietnam. There we go. Because Vietnam are coming home strong. Super swim. When Hu Kim Son gave them a lot to do after the first leg, but right now, Ngo Dinh Truyen is coming back, and Vietnam will retain their gold medal, which they won in 2021. This is a splendid victory for the Vietnamese. what a swim that was. And it's a new name on the block as well. A confirmation that Vietnam win almost by 3 seconds over Singapore.
I mean, I train a lot of these guys, and we all like based on last year we won bronze, and we know we wanted to get like either silver or gold, maybe preferably a gold. And yeah, we trained very hard for this 1 year, and I think it pays off. Although we get silver, but I think it pays off. We all trained really very hard. Yeah, I mean, like what he said, last year we became third. This year we just came in as underdogs and just want to give it all. And I think we all four did a very good job. We came in second, and there's still progress. And the next SEA Games, we'll try again.
So 4 golds on day 2, then 3 from the pool, as you just saw, and that one in the women's Regu Penchak Silat to add to the 5 from yesterday, taking Singapore's gold medal tally to 9 after day 2 of competition. 6 silvers and 12 bronzes as well, a total of 27 medals amassed by Team Singapore in these couple of days in Cambodia. A really great job then by the swimmers, and with 4 more days of the swimming competition still to go, we should see them adding quite a few more medals to that tally. Athletics, by the way, begins tomorrow, and Veronica Shanti Pereira is in the heats of the 200 metres in the morning. Tomorrow, by the way, you've got a bit of a dilemma. So at 10 a.m, it's athletics action on MeWatch Channel 2, there's swimming on MeWatch Channel 1, and then badminton at 11 a.m. on MeWatch Channel 3. So that's 1, 2, 3 devices, maybe? I don't know. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? Do check mewatch.sg/SEAGames for the schedules. Our Channel 5 coverage starts at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Until then, my name is Edward Russell. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and good night for now.